Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, I have to tell you about my background so that you know what gave me the confidence to talk about this topic after getting the insight of storytelling in regards to watching the video of Danko and his guest. So, this is what my background was like or is like from all I know ever since I became conscious of myself, about 4 years old or 3.5 years old, till to now the 33-year-old that I am. So here we go. At 6.5 years, I started writing my stories because I was watching lots of series and kids shows, DuckTales, Donald Duck and his three, what they call it, nephews, Tick, Trick, and Trick, Tick,
Genesis
Tick,
1,
Trick, and Trick.
verse 1. In the beginning, in the beginning, yeah.
Trick, Tick, Tick, Trick, and
in the beginning.
English,
Yeah.
motherfucker, do you speak it?
In the beginning.
Trick.
In the beginning.
Trick, Tick,
In the beginning.
Tick, Trick, and Trick, or something like that. Three nephews. Scrooge McDuck, I think is what was his name was. In Germany, they call him Dagobert. So when I was writing my own stories, what led me to write my own stories? It was an inner voice that was urging me to write. I don't know why, I just felt like writing. I wanted to get a pen and start writing. And it felt very, very familiar to me, to a point of I thought to myself, what the hell was I doing not writing my own stories till then? It made so much sense. At 7 years old, I started drawing to express myself more because I found out that pictures at times say more than 1,000 words. And since my vocabulary wasn't such a good kind of vocabulary, it wasn't at an expert level where I could just articulate everything I felt within me, put it into words, and then express it to the outside world. I used images and pictures as a bridge. At 13 years of age, I took drawing seriously, and that is also the time when I had just arrived in Germany. And I took an interest also in spirituality, was initiated by my mom into the spirituality of my ancestors and venerabilism of the ancestors, or honoring the ancestors, and also the background story of the ancestors, the bloodlines, my whole family, what it was all about. And I also learned a lot from my older sister about the arcane, hidden knowledge, and the occult of the Western Hemisphere and society, and actually started making a connection between the two. And that is also how I got into Buddhism, Zen, real like spirituality from the East Asian and Asian continents. And I mixed it all up to create the person that I am today. So at the same time, I was having vivid dreams from my childhood in Africa when I was about 5 to 6 years old. To be precise, the first really insane nightmares started when I was 7 years old. So what am I going to be doing on this channel? As you can hear, I'm a bit, having some problems with a cold. That's why I'm at home. Should be at work right now, or getting ready for work. But anyway, who cares? Thing is, I am here to talk about how I started traveling into other dimensions and worlds to meet other civilizations, and what the people would refer to as galactics, or beings from other places in the universe and multiverse. Yeah. Where do I come from? I come from Africa. How old am I? 28 years old. Where do I live? I live in Germany right now. And what's my zodiac? For those who are interested, Aquarius. That's why I talk a lot. And yeah, let's get to the topic. How I first started realizing that there's more to life than just what I knew. Well, for me, it started at a very young age. I was in Africa and I was about 4 years old when I realized that the body I have is the one that is small and young, but the me inside, I didn't have a word for energy or soul by then. I just knew that I, which was in the body, which kind of felt like a prison or trap. I love my body, don't worry, I love you. I, which was in the body, was very, very old, as in so old, actually ancient. I knew that when I was around 4 years old, and that's when I awoke to reality and I looked around me. Everything was vivid in super brilliant colors, as if it all had golden, sparkly dust all over it, magical dust, fairy dust all over it. I loved colors, and yeah, I got to live in a country which had such very beautiful nature, Uganda, and that's where I lived till I was 11 and a half years old. But let me take you back a bit before I got to Germany. There was a time when I started having nightmares, as in really, really big nightmares. Some years after that realization I had, let me say I had the realization when I was 4.5 to 5 years old. Now the nightmares started when I was around ending my 6th year, starting my 7th year of age. That's when I started having a nightmare of myself standing on a very wide plain. It was actually something like in the Kenyan savannah. And then everywhere was this very tall, golden, dried grass. And I was looking around, I was like, what the hell is wrong? What am I doing here? And it felt so real. I was awake. I was literally awake. I saw my hands, they looked a bit like glitchy and not really like, and everything felt like it was moving in a too fluid state, as in everything could literally, I felt like everything was alive. And I was a part of that aliveness in everything, as in that life force. So I was like, what the hell am I doing here? I was really scared, and then behind me I heard a noise. I turned around to see that the grass was parting, and then something came up above the grass, or the hay of the savannah, and all of a sudden it was a very big, gigantic rhinoceros. She was female, and I thought to myself, no, she wasn't female. Was she female? Wait, let me remember well. Yeah, she was female. And I felt like I am going to die, because if this thing gets me, I am dead. So I turned to my front without looking back, the coward I was. I started running. The problem was I wouldn't move from the space I was standing in. From the place I was standing in, that position, I didn't move an inch, no matter how fast I moved my legs and how hard I tried to push myself off from the ground. I was so shocked, all I remember was turning back, and the rhinoceros was bending its head, almost knocking me, and I was so shocked, I was like, ah, no! Boom! I woke up. That was my very first nightmare. Now, if it was a normal rhinoceros, I would have been like, yeah, well, okay, so what? Thing was about as big as an elephant, and as fast as a leopard. And after overcoming those nightmares due to some tips that were given to me by the elders and all the people from the family, it's kind of stopped. And when this thing of spirituality and taking drawing seriously and becoming more vivid in my mind and having a stronger imagination started, the dreams all came back full swing. The nightmares I had under control to a certain extent, but I still had nightmares, so I tried not watching scary things. Though it was quite hard, because my sister loved horror movies and thrillers, and yeah, that was also another kind of experience. Anyway, the thing is, the dreams got more frequent and realistic than before, with lots of weird stuff happening, and I also met lots of beings. Let me just leave it at that. So, Fast forward to 18.5 years, 18 and a half years. I finished my vocational college as a technical design assistant. And this is where I had my first contact with designing software, desktop publishing software like Adobe Creative Suite. And I also learned about things like, Procreate, Krita is what it's called, that came years later, but it's also a desktop publishing thing. Photoshop and all those kinds of guys I learned about during the time of my vocational college technical design assistant period. So I learned how to design stuff digitally. I learned how to express myself more visually, physically. I learned how to use certain materials to get certain results and create a certain message to get a certain reaction from people. So manipulating images and graphical material to create a conceptual design that turns into a final design that then makes people pay attention to it, have an interest in it, create a desire and encourage action. It's what is called the AIDA concept. That is what designing was all about. And that is what our skills were built around, to be able to go through that procedure and create those steps. And that is how I finished my vocational college as a technical design assistant, with the ability to be able to do that. Of course, I had my specific skills, like being very good at imagining things, and then anything I could imagine, I could draw without having seen it before. I just needed to imagine it and see the logic in how it would be put together, thanks to anatomy and some kind of architectural and engineering info and research we had done over the years. And then I would be able to kind of simulate something that would work, should not perfectly work, but could be a possibility. And everything else was like an idea from a customer that would be worked on, redefined, proofed, and then finalized into something that would make the customer happy. And they would pay money for that. And that would be my job. So at the age of 24, I got my bachelor's degree in design and communication. To be exact, it was the month of June in 2016. That is when I was 24. So I found out that there is more to creating concepts and designing things than I had seen or been exposed to at the vocational college as a technical design assistant. What I found out was crystallized in the following steps. A, the message you want to convey. B, your ideal target audience should be something you should know about and research well in regards to the message you want to convey. And then C, the best way of delivering the message to your target audience was the most important step and ingredient to having success. And that is where the unconventionality and the, the creativity mostly happened. After putting your research together of what your message was supposed to be, what the customer expected as a result, what the target audience for the customer would be for that kind of message, and finding out the best way of delivering that message in a way that had not yet been seen before, or if it had been seen before, was kind of like still grabbing the attention and captivating the people so that they would always think about it, to create an interest and then a desire, and then they would want to have it. That is what the epitome of designing was all about. After finding that out and understanding it, there was this kind of process that was needed, which is called an integration process and period. It has taken years for me, and I am still trying to integrate it because I am still learning new things of how to do exactly that. But back then, you needed a certain level, and that level was gauged by your bachelor's thesis and the practical work you would hand in as your bachelor project. So after handing in my bachelor project and everything, I passed. it was all good, even though my presentation was really like boring and whack, where one of the professors even fell asleep. And it was kind of like sad because it made me cry, but I had passed. I got my bachelor's degree and that was it. So as they asked me, hey, you have the qualifications for doing your master's. It would be great if you would stay and do your master's. I was like, fuck that. I ain't doing no master's in design. I don't even know if design is my thing now, because I had seen the corporate world. It was totally different from what I had expected, and I needed to sort myself out. As we all know till now, I didn't stay in the design field, but I still have the skills that I learned from it. Not all the skills, but the most crucial and important ones, I kept them, which are helping me be able to create things like this. Not that you need them, but they're kind of helpful. So after finishing the bachelor's degree, now at 33 years of age, as of December 2024, which was last year, and right now we have like the 1st of February, I have consumed, as in watched, listened to, and read several types of media, analyzed and stolen ways to draw, write, speak, and express myself better from the internet, books, videos, and other resources of modern times. Yeah, so thank you for watching to this point. Like and subscribe, because that shows YouTube that I'm doing something good, and yeah, it also helps me get my voice out there, my opinions and thoughts and mentalities, which might be helpful and have some kind of an impact to other people out there and their lives. Now, that brings me to the conclusion that ideas are everywhere. Anything can turn into an idea. Really good ideas need to be acted upon, or else they will evaporate and someone else will have the same idea based on having a collective network of a consciousness on which species are tied to, the 100th monkey effect. If you read about that, you will understand what I mean. But humans also have a collective network of consciousness, wisdom, and a like conscious, spiritual, collective knowledge base that connects all humans. And depending on the level of humans and the way they think, and how they act and their education and knowledge, certain people around the world will have the same idea, the same good idea, at the same time. This is mostly visible in scientists, inventors, and engineers, because when they start filing in the documents for the patents, someone might have been faster than them, and then they get the patent for it, even though they both had the same idea. So, really good ideas need to be acted upon to prevent losing your good idea because someone else acted upon it, and then, yeah, you lost it. Find something else. You only stand out when you do something different, is what I also have learned over the years. Doing something different doesn't mean like flipping the world on its feet or sweeping the ground away from people's feet. Doing something different can also be very subtle, but very impactful. So I would say the best idea is to be yourself and express that uniqueness in an appealing, valuable way, which means tell your story and live it. That will be all about me. And that would be like my whole knowledge and background summed up into the last words. Authenticity is the greatest ability we all have, and being fully authentic and unique is what creates different kinds of ways of doing things and experiences for other people. And ideas acted upon might be the same, and really good ideas might be had by several people at the same time. But what changes the impact of those ideas is the uniqueness of the person, the authenticity of the person acting upon the idea. And that is why I chose that as the final core extraction out of all my 33 years of life. So what I'm trying to do now in my life is be authentic and try to see what I can do when I am authentic. So I get into a state of who am I? What do I expect of myself? who do I want to present myself as? Which story do I want to tell about myself? Remember from the beginning, knowing thyself is very crucial. And after knowing that and finding that out or working on that, because I have a general idea of who I am, who I want to be in the future, who the 45-year-old version of myself, if I am blessed enough to be alive by then, which I hope will be a thing, should be like. And I have a path that I have created to get to that person as fast as possible, with as much fun as possible, and as a lot of excitement I can have. I am very well aware that I will always have challenges. I will always have some missing wisdom and knowledge that I need to add up on or add to my past knowledge. But that is also an adventure of itself, in and of itself. And that also makes me be more excited and curious about what life is going to bring to me. So I wake up, not every day, but on most days, I'm just like, this is going to be great. This is going to be good. I don't know what is going to happen, but I kind of have like a schedule that I have in my back burner, in the back of my mind. And I'm like, yeah, I just need to write it down in a simple list. And I end up finishing the day with having worked on 2 or 3 things of the 5 things or 6 things on the list. And I am proud of myself. At times, I don't work on anything because I feel like, fuck that, I need a rest. And I even have more energy after resting. Then I work on 2 or 3 lists at once, faster than I could even imagine. And that makes life kind of like a game to me. And after reaching certain goals, I reward myself with having really good food, as in I cook something really good that I really, really love. And it's not so expensive, just some noodles with eggs, but extravagant eggs with peppers and onions and tomatoes, and really getting a rich taste. To me, what do they call it? Abundance in life is being able to be present in the moment and appreciating being alive, appreciating the little things about life, appreciating that I can breathe, walk, talk, my eyes can see, I can smell, I don't need a breathing aid, I don't need a walking aid, my back is straight, I am fit, I can exercise, I can literally wash myself, I don't need assistance taking care of myself, I am tidy, I have a clean space around me, I have somewhere where I can put my thoughts down to. I am educated enough to be able to articulate whatever I want to articulate. I can express myself through drawing. I have skills that help me live this creative energy and put it out into the world. And yeah, I also write poems. I used to write songs, now I just sing the songs and maybe write some, but they're not something really remarkable. I just keep them to myself. I listen to a lot of music and I watch things that even help me get more creative and get more ideas. So it never ends once you start focusing on it. And those little things in life that enable me to be able to live as I do live, even though I have setbacks like having failed my exams in October of 2024, I look forward to life because I know that is not the end. I just get back up and continue doing what I am capable of doing. It's just those little steps that I keep on doing and not giving up and keep on standing back up again that make me see that there is value in being persistent. I build momentum while being persistent. Consistency is very crucial because I build a portfolio through that consistency, and then I gain more knowledge. You can even see the way I speak right now, as I am creating this video right now, has changed in comparison to the past, what did they say? 13 videos, how I used to speak. And if you watch my very first 2 or 3 videos, you'll be like, Jesus Christ, what the hell happened? I mean, that's a dimension in comparison to who he is now. There were signs of me turning into this person now, but I didn't know that I would turn into this person now. So I'm also going lots and lots of time unscripted, apart from the notes that I've just read to you right now. And yeah, I'm just hoping to be able to give something back to other people and impact some people out there, impact you to kind of put something of yourself out into the world so that I can have more stuff to look forward to and become even a better version of myself. See, without other humans, I wouldn't have been who I am today. I had teachers, I had friends, I had family, I had acquaintances, I had rivals. Rivals are very crucial because rivals can push you even farther than the support of family and friends. Just because they're so annoying, they're so aggravating that you want to prove a point and then you go beyond your limits. So rivals are also cool. If you understand how to utilize your rage and turn it into the energy that can catapult you and push you forward to doing things, seeing things a certain way, and having a mentality that you never had before. And I've also had sweethearts and muses who attracted me into being a better version of myself. And all of that just sums up why fellow humans are important to us as individuals. So, based on my background, that is why I feel like I can be confident in talking about the epiphany that I had of storytelling and being able to give you some hints and tips on how to use storytelling, see storytelling, and utilize the whole concept of storytelling to your own advantage, for your own good, and maybe for the good of others, depending on how far your influence will spread after understanding what it is all about and how to make use of it. So we have finished the first part with this, and I will close it with that and see you in the next video, which will be only about the whole storytelling thing, after we have finished covering the base of what led me to the epiphany and my background, which gives me the confidence to be able to talk about it at all. I feel like the greatest death we can experience is not expressing ourselves in our authenticity as we are humans, because becoming a human and living on this planet is already like a jackpot in this kind of universe. If you see the probability of you existing as a human right now on this planet, it is insane. It is literally impossible, but you made it. I made it. We all made it. And that is something to even celebrate from the very start. Every day, like, fuck, I am a human. I am existing on this planet right now. My time might be short, like a blink of an eye in comparison to the age of the earth or even the age of the universe, but I am living right now. I exist. And that is something to be proud of. So give some of yourself to us, your fellow humans. And together, I think we can create something really great. A planet that, if aliens or extraterrestrials are watching, which I think they are, no, they definitely are. It can't be that we're the only intelligent beings out there. The probability is also too stupid and insane to say that we are the only ones. But they are watching, and yeah, they can be like, yeah, those guys are insane. Those guys are great. Humans are great beings. And that is how I see us, and that is why I'm making these videos. And yeah, I hope to be able to keep on giving value back as much as I was getting value from the world. And that will be all from me for now. I am thankful for your attention and time. Have fun, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.